Welcome to English Mastery Daily. Today, we are going to tackle 10 super common, really subtle grammar mistakes that might just be holding you back from sounding truly native. These are the little things, but trust me, they make a huge difference.
That's so true. You can speak English really confidently, but native speakers might notice something is just a little off. And it's almost never about your accent or the words you choose. It's these tiny, common grammar errors. But the best part? We're going to fix those today, and it's easier than you think.
All right, so here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll talk about why these little mistakes actually matter. Then, we'll dive into different types of errors, tense, sentence structure, and choosing the right words. We've even got a section on sounding more polite. And of course, we'll wrap it all up with a super handy cheat sheet for you.
Yeah, and this is so crucial. Because look, grammar isn't just some boring thing you learn in a textbook. It's about how people see you. It has a real direct impact on how you come across in real-life situations.
Exactly. Just look at this list. When you nail these things, you sound more professional, right? People understand you without any confusion. And honestly, it builds your own confidence. Think about a job interview or a big presentation. Getting this stuff right is an absolute game changer. It shows you respect the language. Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty. Our first group of mistakes. These are probably some of the most common ones out there. Ben, the first one is all about time, right? How long something has been going on.
Right. So you might hear someone say, I work here for 5 years. It makes sense, but it's a dead giveaway you're not a native speaker.
It really is, and the fix is so simple. Because the job started in the past, but you're still doing it now, you've got to use the present perfect tense. So it becomes, I have worked here for 5 years. That little word have changes everything.
Okay, this next one trips a lot of people up. I saw a dog was friendly. Why is using a the second time wrong? That is a great question. It's all about what the listener knows. The first time you mention the dog, it's new information, so you use a. I saw a dog. But after that, we both know which dog we're talking about, so you switch to the definite article, the. So, the dog was friendly.
All right, how about this one? Where have you been yesterday? A classic. See, have you been is great for general life experiences, like have you ever been to Italy? But the moment you add a specific time in the past, like yesterday or last week, you have to use the simple past. So it's, where did you go yesterday?
And this is a perfect example of why tense is so important. Now let's zoom out a bit and look at the actual building blocks of your sentences, the fundamental structure.
Okay, this one drives people crazy. Everyone are happy. I get it. Everyone feels like it means a bunch of people, so it should be plural, right? Totally. I see the logic. But in English, words like everyone, everybody, each, and even group words like team or company are treated as a single thing. They're grammatically singular. So it's always, everyone is happy.
Oh man, this one is everywhere. Even native speakers mess this up when they're typing fast. The whole it's versus its thing. For sure. But here's a foolproof trick. Just ask yourself, can I replace the word with it is or it has? If the answer is yes, use the apostrophe, it's. Like, it's a beautiful day works because it is a beautiful day works. But for possession, you can't say the dog wagged its tail, right? So no apostrophe. It's just it's.
Let's talk about those if sentences. I hear this one a lot. If I would have more time, I would finish. So why can't if and would hang out in the same clause? That's the golden rule for these kinds of hypothetical sentences. The if part sets up the imaginary condition, and it always uses the simple past tense, if I had more time. The would part describes the result. I would finish. You just got to keep them separate.
So you can see, the rules for sentence structure are pretty solid, and that same idea applies to choosing the right words, especially those tiny little prepositions that can cause so much trouble.
Prepositions. These are so hard because there's not always a clear rule. You hear things like good in sports or let's discuss about the plan all the time. You really do. And look, I wish I had a magic formula for you. But for a lot of these, it's just about memorizing the common pairs. You're good at something. You just discuss something. Know about needed. And you're interested in learning, not in to learn.
Okay, here's another one. I enjoy to read books.
Yep, this is all about knowing which verbs need to be followed by a gerund. That's the ing form of a verb. Enjoy is a big one. You always enjoy doing something. And it's the same for other verbs like avoid, finish, and suggest. You avoid driving in traffic. You finish cleaning the house.
Okay, so far we've been talking about things that are pretty much black and white, right or wrong, but now we're going to shift gears a little bit. Let's talk about something more subtle, your tone, and how to sound more professional and respectful.
And this slide lays it out perfectly. Look, saying "can you help me" isn't grammatically wrong at all, but in a professional context, it can sound a little blunt, almost like an order. Just by switching to "could you help me," you soften it up and sound way more polite. And if you really want to be formal, "would you mind helping me" is even better.
And for our final fix, here's one that immediately tells a native speaker you're still learning. I like very much this movie.
Right. The thing about English is that the word order is pretty rigid. The standard pattern is subject, verb, object. So, I like this movie. Then the extra detail, like very much, usually comes at the end. I like this movie very much.
Okay, wow, that was a ton of information, I know. So to make it all stick, we've boiled it down into one simple cheat sheet for you.
And here it is. This is great because it puts everything right next to each other. You see the mistake, like "everyone are happy," and boom, right there is the fix. Everyone is happy. This is definitely a good one to screenshot so you can look at it later.
All right, now it's your turn to put this into practice. We've got 2 sentences for you, and they both have mistakes from our list. Have a look and see if you can find them.
Okay, check these out. For the first sentence, think about the specific time. And for the second one, remember what we said about words like company. One is a tense problem, and the other is a subject-verb agreement issue.
So how did you do? The correct versions are, I saw this movie last night, because last night is a specific time in the past, and the company is growing, because company is treated as a single thing.
You know, trying to fix all 10 of these at once is it's too much. It's not going to work. So here's our real challenge for you. Just pick one. Seriously, just one of these mistakes. Maybe it's saying "good at" instead of "good in." Focus on only that one thing for a whole week. I promise you will be shocked at how much it boosts your confidence and fluency. So what's it going to be?